Okay, cell division. So, we did a little lab yesterday that covered two things. We did two little labs. One, to see some diffusion across a membrane. The plastic bag acted as our semi-permeable membrane. And remember, semi-permeable means partially permeable. Why could we state that our plastic bag was semi-permeable? Right? Yep. Okay, that's good. We'll go with the yellow went into the other bag. The purple went through, I'm not such a fan on. So what moved into the bag? Yep, the iodine. And what could not travel through the pores of the bag? The starch. And therefore it's semi-permeable. The iodine must be small enough to fit through the pores where the starch molecules are too large. They can't fit through the pores. That's what semi-permeable means. It means some things can fit and other things can't. Excellent. So we looked at membranes and at cells and diffusion, and then we also looked at different size cells to talk about how diffusion can be more effective in a certain size cell versus a larger size cell. Which size cell was more effective at spreading chemicals throughout the cellular substance? Yep. Yeah, the small one. Because if you've got a really large cell, yeah, maybe you can get lots of nutrients in it because it's got a big surface area, but because it's big, the interior of the cell will not be able to get nutrients. So small cells are more efficient at transmitting those nutrients by diffusion. By the way, when I say they're more efficient, that implies that the cells have little brains and some way control it. But diffusion is not a controllable thing. It's happening naturally. It just does it. So the smaller the cell, the more effective that diffusion is at covering the entire cell, all right? Okay, so we need small cells. So if we need small cells that can survive, then how do we grow to be such large things, people, organisms? And the answer to that is cell division. So the next section of this unit is on cell division, why cells divide, how we can have cellular division, and then the different stages in cellular division. Okay, so let's write a few things down. Oops, too far. And I do need you to write this all down, maybe not the why and how, because that's what we're going to answer. But the first three bullets are essentially three statements of logic that guide us to the fact that, yes, we must have cellular division. So again, writing the why and the how, really not useful to write. That's what we're going to answer in the next couple of days. So living things begin their lives as single cells. Your body has trillions of cells. Well, how do you get from single cell to trillions of cells? You must have cellular division in some way. There must be a dividing of the cells. Okay. Yeah, it's Marissa. Is she drawing that little person there? I don't know what's going on in the world here. All right, I'm moving on. Hold on 1 second. Yes, I do want to write that down. So why do cells divide? Number one, repair. Cells get damaged all the time. You cut yourself, you damage, you break some cells. Cellular division allows more cells to be created in that area in order to repair that. Growth. Little people grow into big people. Enough said. I don't know. Again, I'm not a biologist. I see little people growing to big people. Cells must be dividing. Enough evidence for me. And reproduction. Yeah, here we are. That awkward lesson. How? New cells arise through cellular division. Okay, so the cellular division part is going to actually be Monday's part of the lesson, along with this little second part that I'm going to do. It's actually one slide. So repair is pretty obvious. Growth is pretty obvious. Yeah, we're going to talk about the different parts of cellular division. So, oh no, let's talk about then the reasoning for this. All right. Yeah, all of it is good. Again, I may appear to be rushing a little bit. Again, this is just, an informational PowerPoint. There's not really a lot to discuss. And so the sooner we get done, the sooner you can grab a computer and get finished some of those labs. The second bullet there, cells are only efficient living units when they are small and have a large surface area to volume ratio. And that's one of the things that we're asking you to calculate in our lab that failed miserably because all the cells turned into goop. But you still have some fake numbers to work with, 2, 1, and 0.5. And you will find that when you do that ratio of surface area to volume, and you divide it out, right, you will have a largest value for the smallest cell. Yep. No, yeah, I really don't care. I don't care what units you use. I know it suggests units, but it doesn't matter to me. You will get the same ratio whether you're using millimeters or centimeters, right? In the end, when you divide it out, the ratio will become the same. It means that we need something that has a good amount of surface area, but not too big. When you get to big cells, you have lots of surface area, but now the volume becomes huge, and it can't transmit that in. Hopefully we saw that in yesterday's activity. That's really the whole purpose of that activity was, well, from my point of view as a teacher, was for you to see that it easily went through the little cells and did not get through the larger cell in that 10-minute time. And yeah, no good. So, in order to get larger, organisms must make more cells. That we can't just become one big cell. Like, could you imagine if we were made up of, like, let's say each leg was a cell, and our torso was a cell, and each arm was a cell, and our head was a cell. And we injured our arm, one cell, that's it. You lose the arm. You're done, right? If you have many, many cells, you injure your arm, you just lose a few little cells in that spot. They divide, they repair, all right? So more cells is better. Wilson keeps an eye on me as I get ready to advance. He's like, no way, man. I'm not done yet.
I memorized like the last half of the note whenever you like post it.
Computer, nice move. Are you done, Wilson? Or are you just quitting because we're now watching you?
I wasn't the last.
No? All right. Cell division for repair. I find, even though this is biology and it's not my strength, I find these slides here to be quite logical, right? We saw in the lab that small cells are more efficient at transmitting chemicals through them. Therefore, we must have small cells. If we're going to have large organisms and the cells must be small, then we must, we have to have cell division in order to fulfill the large organism. To me, it's logical. In this case, actually, it was the last example that I kind of gave you. I should have saved it for this. If we had, say, one cell as an arm, you injure that one cell and it kills that one cell, you lose an entire large chunk of your organism. Not a good thing. If you're made up of many little cells, that type of organization of little cells is better than a few big cells. Okay, so growth, repair, and finally reproduction. We will start with the less awkward asexual reproduction. One parent undergoes cell division in order to make more of itself, makes an exact replica of itself. So when a bacteria divides, it makes two little bacteria cells that are identical to the one cell that existed before. There are no parents. You could say that there was a parent cell, but in the end it divides and becomes two cells. I believe there is a Big Bang Theory. I don't know if Sheldon's having a dream or something, but at one point he splits into two, binary fission. No, have you seen that one? Saw it a long time ago, right? I think he makes a comment that it would be far more, simpler if humans just reproduced asexually, which is what that would be. That's the joke. Yeah. What do you got?
So by Hydra, the Hydra is kind of like...
I think that's a Hydra right there, and I really don't know what type of thing it is. It's green, so it looks like it's a plant. It's got all the things on the end, so the Hydra, right? The mythical Hydra that has maybe that's where that name comes from. Probably, to be honest, I really don't know good examples. It's not my strength, but I assume that's a Hydra right there. With the green, I'm assuming it's a plant-like material that has chloroplasts in it. So, but I could be wrong. I really don't know. I'd have to do a Google search, if I really cared that much. Okay, so simple organisms, asexual, binary fission works well. And of course, now we must talk about sexual reproduction. But thank goodness this isn't a phys ed health class, so we can talk simply in terms of cells.
The freshwater animal represents radial symmetry. That's what it says.
So radial symmetry means that it's got a line of symmetry in some way, but it says it's an animal.
It says freshwater animal.
Okay, so it's not a plant. So is it like a bacteria? It's probably bigger. It's probably a multicellular organism, but somehow it divides that way. Again, I do not know. That's a lot more information than I had moments ago. Sexual reproduction involves two parents. Each parent produces sex cells called gametes that contain half the parent's genetic information. When the gametes combine, the resulting offspring inherits a combination of genetic instructions from both parents. Most animals and plants reproduce this way. There you go, I made it. And you can trip over a single word. And I will not be fielding any questions on that topic. Okay, and that's slide 7 out of 7 on why cells divide. Again, very straightforward thing. Growth, repair, reproduction. And I wanted to just do the beginning of the cell cycle. And again, it's like a couple of slides, I think. So this next thing is a new note, but it's the beginning of the note I want to get through on Monday. And Monday is kind of a long note, so I want to just do this first introduction to it, so I can kind of give you a heads up on what we're going to be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right? Okay, so I need to switch over to another PowerPoint here. We'll just keep things rolling. So, sorry, are we okay? I'm going on? I'm still recording. Don't make me embarrass you. Okay, so this next note is called mitosis in the cell cycle. And this is the procedure or the process in which a cell undergoes in order to divide. Say in a repair situation, some cells are damaged, right? And new cells are formed. Actually, not even in a repair situation. Skin cells are always being formed, and you're slowly, the dying skin cells are slowly leaving your surface of the skin. So this is what's taking place, well, in any type of, repair, that type of thing. So again, this is a new note. Yep, we do want this. We do want to write that down. What's happening? You're getting rid of some skin cells? Yep. Again, this is a fact that I don't know where it came from, but a large proportion of dust that exists in your house is actual skin that is, well, just dust. If you think that, oh, look at this is dusty, you've just gathered up a whole bunch of dead skin, right? So you don't really want to lick that, I would think. You don't want to just kind of grab up some dust and like lick your hand.
Oh, you wouldn't want to do that even at once.
No, you wouldn't want to do that? What if it tastes great? You have no idea. You've never tried it before.
Because, well, I mean, I'm sure, like...
I'm recording all this, Wilson, by the way. This is going out on YouTube. I don't know. I have no idea. We've gone on a Friday path that I cannot gather in. Okay, let's keep writing. Ooh, that's interesting. If you're allergic to dust, you're allergic to skin? You're allergic to your own skin? Ah, okay. No, it isn't, because other biologists are going to watch my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be a laughingstock of all of the science teachers in the world. Let's continue, and then we will stop recording. The life of a cell can be described as the cell cycle in which it performs cellular function, grows, and divides. Oh, I hate thinking... Okay, here we go. In eukaryotic cells, the cell cycle consists of 3 main stages. Right at the very beginning of the cells unit, we talked about 2 types of cells, eukaryotes and prokaryotes. And eukaryotes had a nucleus, and the prokaryotes didn't have a nucleus. You want to get that, yep. So we're going to talk about the eukaryotes, the ones that have nuclei, that have a nucleus. And all the picture with the onion cells and the cheek cells, they are eukaryotic cells because they had the nucleus, right? Okay, and the last slide that I'm going to put up is the 3 main stages. And then on Monday, I'm going to go over what these stages do. All right, so it's going to be a long note. It's going to have lots of writing on all the important things about the stages on a Monday. It's a great day for that. Now, in the past, I have had students, after I've taught about the stages, well, actually, I've actually had them do this before I even teach about the cell cycle. I have them go to the textbook and draw pictures of cells as they undergo different aspects of the cell cycle. But because we're getting really good pictures, we have slides of like root tips that have lots of dividing cells, and we have good slides that show each of the stages of division. So what I want to do is, on Monday, I'm going to teach you the different stages of division and how to recognize them. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to look through the microscope and find cells with examples of each of those particular division stages. And you're going to create a Google document or a PowerPoint presentation that then shows me a stage and explains what's happening in that stage. You see what I mean? You're going to then have your picture and essentially a summary of your note on what's going on in that stage. It's like you're creating your own, textbook pages with your own pictures that you took from the microscope. Why? Because we can. We won't be doing we won't be doing classic drawings with the power and all that stuff, because what I'm going to want you to do, like some of you did when you did the last assignment, I want you to zoom in on that one cell, right, and then describe what's happening in that cell for each of the stages, all right? So the 3 stages, interphase, that's just when the cell is going on doing its regular life and nothing exciting is happening. The onion cell and the cheek cell that we looked at were in interphase. It means they weren't dividing, they were just living. Then division takes place, and division is called mitosis. I have no idea where the term mitosis came from. Don't know what it stands for. There are 4 substages in mitosis. It's called prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And again, we'll take pictures of all of those phases. Then, at the very end, the final ending to the division process is called cytokinesis, and it's when the cytoplasm is cut in half, when the final part of the division takes place. So in your little assignment that we're going to take a couple days to do on Google Docs, you will have 1, a picture of a regular cell behaving like it does, 4, each of the different phases of mitosis, so that's 5, and then 6, cytokinesis, and we'll just, if we do it in a PowerPoint presentation, you could have 1 slide for each, right? Or you could do it as a doc, I really don't care, putting a couple on each page, and then you'll just submit that, okay? I'm going to stop the recording right there, and I'm done my lesson for today. So Monday,